welcome to the Metta Sutta YouTube channel and to this video in where I'm going to be going through a model I have tried to conceptualize for myself and just share my thoughts, really share my perspectives and try to show you what it's all about. So let's get going here. Let's jump right into it. So firstly, we have spiral dynamics, which is a beautiful model on the individual and collective developmental cycles of both our personal selves, our individual selves, but also on the collective. So please go ahead and Google more, research more on spiral dynamics for more information on that. Perhaps I will be able to make some videos about that in the future as well. To the right of that, we have the Christian sacraments. To the right of that, again, we have the 10 Sephiroth, Kabbalah, divine energies found in Jewish mysticism. Kabbalah is the Jewish mysticism book, and of course the Yogic chakra system here. So the whole Excel spreadsheet here, I made it based on the Yogic chakra system, and then I tried connecting these in some kind of way. So I'm going to explain the connections I see here. This might be helpful and beneficial for somebody. So of course, the root chakra, the red chakra, is the one about our blood bond, our loyalty, our belonging, our grounding, our willingness to live, and our survival. This is also equal to the bottom of the pyramid on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. To the left of that, on the 10th Sephiroth, it's the mystical community of humanity. I would even say, not the mystical community of humanity, but of all beings, actually. Everybody is connected to the material world. Everybody is connected to our survival. That's like the root of our existence is our survival. If we are alive or dead, is the state of the Muladhara. And as such, the Christian sacrament, baptism, taking responsibility for family. It's like baptism, you're being baptized into, you're coming into existence, you're creating attachment to the material world. And the left of that, that's the purple, that's the family, the tribe, the us and them, like the us versus them, survival in the physical world. So there seems to be, at least I see, a kind of connection here. Just remember when I'm going through this model that not everything here is like super scientific. This is just my perspectives and my views on stuff. So next one up is the Sahasrara chakra, which is all about our sexual organs, our desire for creativity, integrity, love, ethics, sacred union, temperance, and energy control. Very related to semen retention, very related to how we view our sexuality, our self-control, our temperance, and of course, sacred union, which means the willingness to have pleasure from living life. Fundamentally, that's like when Svadhisthana is really activated and in balance. It's like you're having intercourse with reality almost. It's sacred union with the highest supreme, loving every single day of our lives, and having the ability to see pleasure in everything, basically, which is connected to Yesod, foundation, procreative force of God, source of prophecy. Basically, in some Eastern philosophies, the sexual energy within us is the most fundamental thing. The source of creativity, the source of God, is sexual energy, and it's this feeling. That's what the Svadhisthana chakra is all about: having a feeling to and connection with our sexual energies. So communion, union with others in God. So again, how we use our sexual energies is how good our connections to be able to see others is, in my view. So how we respect, me as a man, how I respect the other energy, the feminine energy, and how I am able to integrate that within myself is how good I'm able to commune with others in God, so to speak. If I see God within myself, I see God in others, so to speak, which is connected to orange. Orange, spiral dynamics orange, is of course very about like it's losing this kind of temperance. It's doing what it wants to do in terms of materialism, which is why we need to be wary of spiral dynamics orange. We need to temper our exploration and our purpose and exercising our will, discipline and strategy. Like if stage orange is at its peak, it's actually very able to do that. It seeks success. So yeah. Next one up is Manipura, which is all about our own self-esteem, our own self-image, honoring our self-esteem, our purpose in life, our direction, and I guess our purpose and my purpose in life should be to see the majesty of God and the eternity and endurance of God. That's the highest purpose, I believe. And we are only able to do so if we honor ourselves and our self-image, to see God within, which is a direction we can consciously create for ourselves, which is connected to the Christian sacraments through confirmation, self-esteem, choice, individuality. Yes, Manipura, like Svadhisthana, is what separates us, while Manipura is what individuates us. So, and I should mention that Svadhisthana versus Anahata. Svadhisthana is what makes us connect through the pleasure of connecting, but Anahata is about the love. The distinction there is, I'm not sure how to put it in words, but there is some sort of distinction that I'm able to feel within myself at the very least. Confirmation, self-esteem, choice, individuality, connected with Spiral Dynamics Red, which is all about self-esteem, honor, individual identity, and setting boundaries, which is also very important. But yeah, moving on, we got Anahata, which is the heart chakra, the emotional chakra, all about purity, love, forgiveness, compassion, kindness, and generosity. The first organ that begins to develop in humans, at least, if not only in humans, other sentient beings as well, is the heart, connected to the 10 Sephiroth, compassion and harmony. Harmony between all things. So one of the distinctions might be that Svadhisthana is about your pleasure to enjoy other people, but Anahata expands how many sentient beings you're able to have pleasure with. For example, through veganism is one of the good ways that we can expand how we are able to feel pleasure from engaging with other sentient beings, not only humans, but all animals as well. That's what the heart is fundamentally about: compassion and understanding, generosity, and forgiving ourselves also love for ourselves, self-love. Which is gotten through purity, but by being pure, having chastity, chastising your Svadhisthana chakras, chastising your sexual energy, makes it much easier to see our innate heart, our purity. Compassion, harmony, 10 Sephiroth, Christian sacraments, marriage, love and care, the ideals of marriage, union with the other, union with your heart, true love and care. Very connected to Spiral Dynamics Green, which is all about relationship, caring, compassion, earth, peace and love, and of course veganism. So we need to care for not only our fellow human beings, but we need to care for the entirety of earth and our fellow sentient beings, all of our earthlings living on this planet with us. Next one up is Visuddha, which is the throat chakra, all about purification, manifestation of words of clarity, surmounting problems and inhibition, linguistic skills and singing techniques, and also creativity. So this is connected to 10 Sephiroth, judgment, power, punishment. Our voice is very powerful in that it can spread words of love, or it can spread words of judgment, criticism, and punishment. Fundamentally, I believe like criticizing other people and judging other people is not the best way to use your throat chakra, because if you use creativity and pure words, you can manifest words of clarity, which is enabling the other to see where you are coming from in such a way that you can surmount problems and inhibitions through using beautifully eloquent linguistic skills and words. And by doing that, you're basically acting out the mercy of God, which is Hesed, love, mercy of God. Connected to the Christian sacraments of confession, clearing the spirit of negative acts of will, not having the desire, clearing and purifying your throat chakra of the desire to speak words of evil, to instead speak words of love, speak through God, speak love. Connected to Spiral Dynamics Blue, because that's actually what the ideals of Spiral Dynamics Blue is, like the chastity, self-sacrifice for the group, ethics, honor, and truth, speaking the truth, being honorful, and speaking truth for the entirety of the group, self-sacrificing oneself. Like the reason you're supposed to, in my view, speak the words of love from God is to not have your ego determine what it is that you're speaking, but rather self-sacrifice yourself and speak the words of love through God's will. Next one up is Ajna, wisdom, seeking answers to mysteries, becoming a vessel for energy and truth. So we have two eyes that perceives and one eye that sees. So the third eye chakra is all about seeing through the dualities in our world that we have created for ourselves through ego, seeking answers to the mysteries of life, becoming a vessel for energy through perceiving your way clearly, seeing through illusion, and bathing in the paradoxical beauty of mystery, which is connected to the 10 Sephiroth. Chokmah, wisdom, contact between divine and human mind. So the mind of God, seeing the mind of God, connecting with the mind of God, and actually understanding and seeing that. Bina, understanding, knowledge of the Divine Mother. So opening your third eye, you're now able to see Avalokiteshvara, Kuan Yin, Pachamama, all of these spiritual motherly figures of compassion. I think I read about Avalokiteshvara, the Buddhist goddess of compassion. It's like she, or the energy that perceives the lamentation and suffering of others and that then wishes to do something about it. So like seeing that you're not the only one in the world with problems. We all struggle with our own problems, but we can try our best to reduce our own suffering and then be of benefit and helping others clear their own suffering. Connected with the Christian sacraments, ordination, bestow grace to make one's path of service sacred. Wow, like the path of service towards others, being a bodhisattva, being one that self-sacrifices themselves for the good and benefit of others, because one has fundamentally cleared out their own problems and their own negativity, such that they can be a force for good and change in the lives of other people, which is very well connected to Spiral Dynamics Yellow, which is all about systemic thinking, learning, always being open to learning, process orientation. Fundamentally, Spiral Dynamics Orange is a multidisciplinary approach which grabs and takes the aspects and pieces of all different kinds of perspectives and views on reality and synthesizes a greater new whole and totality, which is what all the creative geniuses throughout all of history ever has done, to synthesize new models and ways of perceiving the world that never were imaginable before, because they do that through creativity. They do that through synthesizing from a multi-perspectival worldview. Finally, here we got the Sahasrara, the spiritual chakra, which is all about higher consciousness, releasing fears, non-attachment, and non-duality. So while the mind and ajna, the third eye, is about perceiving them, in the spiritual practice we have is where we actually get down on the floor and start practicing non-duality and start practicing releasing our fears and releasing our attachments. So the ideals here are to expand our consciousness through all the other chakras, to release those fears of the other chakras, and then to achieve non-duality. Connected to the 10 Sephiroth crown, paths by which we return to God, made in the image of God, which is so important to realize that there are several paths to God. So never speak about the faults of others, only speak your pure voice of inspiration and creativity to help others find your perspectives and your path. Don't tell others right from wrong, but try to inspire them to see things from your perspective. And if they are not open to seeing your path to God, then don't blame them for it, because if you blame others, then that closes down your path to God. Don't be attached to judging others, is what I'm trying to say. It does not help in any way, shape, or form. Connected with the Christian sacrament of extreme unction, bestow grace to finish unfinished business. Basically to release our fears, to release our attachments, unfinished business, perceiving our attachments, perceiving our fears, and letting go of them. Extreme unction, bestow grace, grace to our problems, to nourish our fears, such that they get transformed from being a fear into love. Energy never goes away, it can only change form. Finally, that's connected to Spiral Dynamics Turquoise, which is of course yellow taken to its limits, going into turquoise, which is all about the transcendental, the non-dual, philosophical, existential, and spiritual cosmic problems of our existence, which I think is super interesting. So I hope this little session here has been helpful. I hope my perspectives on things have been informative and fun to listen to. I hope this is helpful for anybody out there, and feel free to leave some comments below if there was anything during this video that you found interesting. With that being said, thanks for tuning in, and see you all next time. Thank you.